make sure you grab different color spray paints, different size thread edges, and everyday household items like cups or lids. My name is Arturo Lopez, and I created Spraycasso Studios back in 1999. I have then continued to show people diverse ways of creating master paintings in just a few minutes using nothing more than just spray paints and everyday household items. The beauty of this art is that you don't have to have a steady hand or know how to draw. All it requires is a little bit of imagination and some dedication. So join us, and you too can become a Spraycasso master. I will walk you through diverse techniques of creating beginner level paintings, intermediate level paintings and techniques, advanced level paintings, and we'll take your skills even further to master level paintings. So if you guys are ready to embark into a new art adventure, then grab your spray paints and materials. Let's get started.
Hey crew, welcome back to another Spraycasso tutorial. Alright, in today's tutorial, I was actually going to show you guys more techniques, better ways of manipulating paint using just your Spraycasso tool. And I still do that, but I didn't know what I was going to create until right about here. I was like, you know what? I know what to draw. I am going to create a pet portrait of my dog, Pancho. For those of you that don't know, I have a long-haired chihuahua. I think he's mixed with something else like werewolf or Wolverine, more likely. He's my little warrior. And I'm always kidding around telling people that I'm going to take over the world with an army of chihuahuas. Well, here be Pancho. He's the general of my army. What I'm doing, guys, is I spray painted this whole painting black. I waited a little bit, and then with the Spraycasso tool, scratched the outline of my dog's head. But rather than completely scratch it, leaving it just a white background, negative space, I blended the black into it in the background. Now, I sprayed a little bit of white off in the distance. You guys see me take my tool out of the screen? Well, I tap it into some white and then I bring it back into the painting. See that? My dog has he's black and he's got a lot of white hairs. So I'm trying to mimic the colors that I see him having, you know. Keep in mind this tutorial is a little bit older, so he has a little more white hair now. But here I'm just tapping into the paint, combining the colors, and then mixing and blending them together. See how I'm doing that? Just gentle taps. Gentle taps. I want some of those white hairs to, you know, to really stick out. And then I'm going to blend it together. It's actually a pretty neat technique, guys. I've done a lot of pet portraits before. See, I'm just blending it here together, guys. You can use you can put some clear coat on top, or you can put some clear coat on the actual white that you spray painted off on the side. This will give us different shades of white. Okay, so here I'm just mixing it into the background. And I've created a lot of techniques. I've created a lot of paintings, of pets. People really love their pets. I'm being one of them. And you can do this with any color, guys. You don't have to stick with just black and white. It just so happened that my dog happened to be black and white, so. But you know, you can use brown and white with this technique as well. And notice here I just blended the white together. I'm creating layers, guys. That's ultimately what it comes down to. The layers, some of the light that I see. He was there at the studio with me when I was painting him. I couldn't get him to sit still. See? I don't want to confuse you guys, but another handy tool that you could use this with would be either the sea sponge or the foam brush. But like I said, guys, I really wanted to do a tutorial to show you the versatile techniques that you can really accomplish with the Spraycasso tool. And, well, this is just being one of them. Just blending the colors together, guys. Lots of layers, and it wouldn't change much if you use the sea sponge or the foam brush to create this effect. It wouldn't change really that much. Tapping into some white. His little goatee is white, so now notice how you can just blend that together. That'll give you different shades. You can leave a thick layer of white on top if it's just mainly white. with this technique, once you've mastered this, you can create something. I'm taking my time here, guys, but you would actually do this really quick if you're gonna do something like this, some live. And this one is actually more of a caricature. Do you guys remember last time I was showing you guys how to create a Polaroid picture? Well, we're gonna use that in this one. Notice a little more white. Now, I know you guys can tell in the background here, I actually added some black too. I added some black, I added some more white, and then with the Spraycasso tool, you just keep working it until you get the effect, the desired effect, guys. To create the nose, very much like the star technique, except with black, you know. Just added a little quick burst in the middle of his face. Now, if you guys have never seen me create eyes, go check out my tutorial. I think it's called Eye of the Tiger, and that's basically what I did here to create the eyes on Pancho. Right, adding a little more white and some black. Now see, here I show you the actual mixture. I'm going to use a sea sponge, and I'm going to add the finer details. This is the same technique that I use on Eye of the Tiger to create the fur technique. This gives you more realistic looking hair. You could have done the whole painting like this, or with the Spraycasso tool. But remember, guys, I really wanted to show you guys the versatility of the tool versus a palette knife. I've seen a lot of people starting to do paintings with palette knives. It's a big no-no. You don't get as much versatility, guys. Alright, so here I'm blending some of these colors in the background. And notice how I'm doing quick strokes. That'll give us very realistic looking hair. Or fur in this case. But you can actually create hair as well. Alright, so... oh, that looks just like him. That's funny. I'm going to add a little bit of white here. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. You're going to want to wait till this is dry, guys. I actually had to walk away from the painting for a little bit while it dried. Now keep in mind, if I would have known I was going to create Pancho to begin with, if I would have known that I wanted to make him add this little creative touch of adding the Polaroid, I would have left an empty white spot to begin with. But you know, that's the beauty about painting, is sometimes they take a shape of their own. I just wanted to show you guys how to create different techniques, feathering techniques, fur techniques with the Spraycasso tool, and one thing led to another, and well, you know, it became a pet portrait. Here I'm just creating a rough shape where I want this Polaroid to be. If you guys haven't seen that last tutorial that I created, so I showed you how to create a Polaroid. So we added some tape, some masking tape, and then some fine detailing tape on the side. Here I'm tapping into the black and the white to create Pancho's body. I added a little tail. Can you see it there in the background? I used to do a lot of caricatures with, you know, markers, pens, with whatever. At work, people used to love it because I used to walk in and we used to start drawing, right? Funny things. So this is more or less where I got the idea of creating Pancho with the big head. That's usually a technique that we use in caricatures, right? It uses a lot less time. You create a big head, small body, and then doing something creative. Alright, so I took the tape off. It kind of looks like the Polaroid is at an angle. Pancho's coming out of it. This is a Sharpie, guys. I waited until everything was completely dried. Completely dried before I did this. So I definitely encourage you guys to go around, take some pictures of your pets, and, you know, either use the Spraycasso tool. It's a little more harder, but it's still very doable if you want to practice. Or use the foam brush or the sea sponge, guys. They both work very well. So I hope this has helped you guys explain some of the newer techniques that I've been coming up with.
Hey crew, well, that's the end of today's tutorial. There you have it, folks. This is Pancho. Pancho, say hi to the señoritas out there. Hello. Anyways, until next time, folks, keep those cans shaking.